Hey, how you doing today? We are talking about Returnal. Should it have a save? Should it not? I want to start a little discussion, but first off I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings on the matter, and I think I found a pretty good compromise. Now, the other day on stream I was playing Returnal and this happened. Yo, whoa. One sec. Did anyone else just get that weird sound? Yeah, hang on. Not ideal, to be honest with you. And while when the game originally came out, I said, you know what, it doesn't need a save. It's the kind of game that would be definitely hindered. The experience would be hindered by a save point, and I still stand by that. But I do definitely have a sort of workaround that I think would be fair for all players overall. Now, yes, I understand that the game is trying to create a certain atmosphere, level of difficulty, and overall experience for the player, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. If I'm dying and I'm losing the run because of my own stupid mistakes, then I'm completely fine with that and I have no issue. But if the game's going to bug out and ultimately crash out on me or remove sound completely, making it such a hindrance that I can't complete that run or have to restart, or previously when we had issues with the doors and things like that and not being able to pick up certain items, then we need a compromise that works out for the best of everybody. And I think I've figured it out. I don't think we should have save points. I think that would be ridiculous. Like, it's definitely not going to work with the game to have full-on save points. What I think we should have is a saved state. And by that, what I mean is, if you get to a certain point in a level, say you've gone through like levels 1 to 3, and you're feeling good about your weapons, your overall suit's ability currently, and everything else that you've got consumable wise, you should be able to head back to the ship and save that state. Not the run, but the state. So your integrity stays at the same, your consumables are still there, and your overall weapon proficiency and weapon stays the same. So what happens is, the next time you load up the game, you can click on that state and go back into it. You can't start where your run was at, so you couldn't be right in front of the boss, go and save state and then expect to be able to teleport straight back to the boss. I don't think that would work. What I think would work perfectly is having accessibility to your ship on all levels at the start of each level, that you can go back to the ship and save the state. That way, if you only get a few hours per week to play a game, it means that all of that progress you made in a run can come back as far as the suit, the gun, and your overall modifiers go, plus consumables. But at the same time, what you're not doing, which I think a lot of people really want, is the ability to clear a run and then save it, or save right in front of the boss and have time and time over again a run at the boss, a run at the boss. I don't think that's right, and I think that would be a massive hindrance. But at the same time, I think a decent compromise is finding a way to allow players not to lose all of the progress. I think this works perfectly in Souls-like games. Yes, you level up, but you still sometimes have to rerun levels over and over, and I think this would be a similar sort of fix that works out perfectly for the more casual player. Look, I completely understand that if you're good at this game, you can finish it in one sitting, but you have to remember there's loads of people that aren't in the situation where they can do it in one sitting. And as I'm saying, if you run into a bug or something like that, say the sound glitch happened and you didn't want to do that run at that point in time or restart it, you could go and save that state in your suit and everything else, and then come back to it another day. Still have to run through the level again, but at least you wouldn't lose every single bit of progress. And I think that is pretty damn fair. I'm not sure if we're going to see anything added in the way of making it a bit more accessible, but I really do think this would be the easiest way to sort of appease the players, because I've seen a lot of people when I'm streaming and in general online talk about it's not a £70 game, $70 game, because you can't save, so therefore it's shit. And I don't agree with that notion. The game in itself, the way it works, everything about it is beautiful, minus the bugs obviously, but other than that, it really does feel like a quality for money. And yes, I am more than happy to keep doing runs and runs over again until I finally get to the next checkpoint by beating a boss. No worries about that. I'd even run the game over once I'm really good at it, because I want to feel like an absolute champion. But what I'm saying is, when you come into these problems that are outside of your situation, yes, you may crash and not even get to save that state. That is a worry. But I think it's fair enough to be like, you know what? You've earned this much. Go and give it another go. Because guess what? If that save state is only like a single usage, you can only do it once, then that's a little bit like just having 2 lives, and I think that's fair enough. You know, people go, oh, but you didn't grow up with hard games. Like, these people that talk about it being too hard or having to start over didn't grow up with the earlier generations. Look, mate, we all fucking played the Lion King game, yeah? And that, even that gave you a couple lives and a couple tries at it, yeah? So don't be giving me any of that. Sometimes you need to have a compromise for the more casual player, as I'm saying. And in my situation, when I'm mainly just playing the game on stream, I would like to at least checkpoint some of my progress sometimes, you know. It's all well and good when you can just run this game for the entirety of your day and keep doing runs, but as I've had people message me about, there's people that are doing 2 to 3 to 4 hour runs, getting hit with the sound bug so they lose all sound, which definitely removes your awareness about the entire area, but on top of that, it leads to then actually crashing. And when there's more than enough complaints about that sort of thing, especially following a patch that's meant to fix certain things, then you have to understand you've got to allow some people not to feel robbed of their time or completely demoralized. As I said, if it's on the player, then you should be big enough to be like, you know what, that's on me, I fucked that run up. But if it's not on the player, then it really should allow you a chance to sort of go back, you know, not go back, but sort of log your progress to some level. That's what I think. You know, that's what I think about it. I think it's a fair compromise. I think it would make it more accessible, as I've said. And at the end of the day, you do want to sell as much units as possible. It just means you can make more awesome games in the long run because you've got more money, you've got more backing, and you're showing everyone exactly what you do, and you listen to your audience, which I think is a fair thing as well. But I really don't think being like, oh, you beat that boss, you never have to run that again, should be allowed. You know, I think it should just work that you can do reruns, and I'm sure some people are going to find plot holes with this, but I think it's a fair enough way of doing it. A 1 usage save state, which means you can at least load progress, not the run, but you can go back into, say you don't want to do the 1st and 2nd level again, you can go straight back in to the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, wherever you may be in the game, with the same sort of items that you had in your last run. And if you mess it up, then you got to go and build it up again. But you can choose when you want to cash in that save state. You might want to just go and do it like you do a couple death runs so you understand all of the enemies, and then you load in your save state which you've worked on for hours, and then you go in there and you're like, okay, this is the run I'm going to do it in. But you know what I mean? I don't think that the length of the runs or anything like that, progress, should be logged, so it's easy to just like reload on a boss over and over. But I do think that basically making it a slight bit RPG-esque in allowing people to sort of use their experience later down the line could really help out and make things a little bit more digestible for the average player, you know. And if you're one of those people that's like, go hard or go home, well, just consider what it's like to either be A, bad at games you know, B, not have enough time because of family, work and other engagements, or C, working within, you know, the parameters of your, there's just certain things that don't click, or you get a serial, like say you get 10 bad runs in a go and like nothing's really dropping well and you're playing your heart out but nothing's really going your way. Just being able to load that sort of good save once over would really help some people out. That's what I think anyway. I will be streaming Returnal later on this evening. I really do hope you join me. I really do hope we don't run into any more problems, because I will probably throw my PS5 out of the window and somebody will be like, oh my god, and catch it, and I will bless their day. But reality is, I'll be so fucking mad. So yeah, other than that, take care of yourselves, look out for each other, maybe I'll see you later. Peace.